In this latest episode of Paths to the Past, we pay a visit to the pretty Welsh coastal town of Penarth.
Our first port of call was this lovely pier, originally opened in 1898.
Here's a view from 1900 showing it stretching out into the Bristol Channel.
And a closer look shows a steamship about to depart. The pier is a cast iron structure with timber decking, and it has this lovely pavilion Art Deco style at its entrance. The pier was originally built to make the flow of steamships between North Somerset and the coastal resorts there and South Wales much easier for day trippers and tourists. But as somebody who did not make an easy crossing of the Bristol Channel, she was Kathleen Thomas, who swam the entire width of it in 7 hours and 20 minutes on the 5th September 1927.
Kathleen was a native of Penarth and set off at 4:15 in the morning.
The 11-mile journey took her 7 hours and 20 minutes, although it was reckoned to be more like swimming 22 miles due to the strong currents. Several men had tried and failed to attempt that feat previously, so Catherine's feat, being the first person ever to swim the Bristol Channel, was even more remarkable.
So it was reported that she kept her energy levels up during this fantastic and amazing feat by drinking beef drink and eating chocolate.
So as we make our way towards the far end of the pier, I'm reminded that there was once a concert hall here, and there was a remarkable near disaster happened in 1931. On the 3rd of August, a bank holiday, a variety performance was taking place at the Bijou Theatre at the far end of the pier. At about 9 p.m, a fire broke out, possibly caused by a casually discarded cigarette. Most people managed to get off the pier and on to the seafront, but a few unlucky people were left stranded at this far end of the Penarth Pier.
These desperate people took refuge on the landing stage beneath the pier.
They were rescued by yachts quickly sent out from the local Penarth Yacht Club, so disaster was averted and nobody lost their lives on that fearful night. So has anybody viewing this video got any other memories or knowledge about Penarth Pier? We'd love to know them in the comments below.
We then made our way along the esplanade past this fine looking building.
Yes, lovely turrets at either end and a balcony there, I guess, for people to enjoy the views out across the Bristol Channel across to Somerset.
And pleasant looking cafes on the ground floor.
Next up was the Italian Gardens, opened in 1926.
Penarth is known as the Garden by the Sea, and this is the first of 3 gardens that we visited today.
The Italian Gardens are also known as Beach Rock Gardens, and they were originally designed by a lady called Ursula Thompson, who was the first lady to graduate from Kew Gardens. And the layout you see today is the same layout that Ursula designed nearly 100 years ago.
Further along the esplanade we came to this beautiful looking Victorian lamppost.
Next up was the headquarters of the Penarth Yachting Club, those brave people who went and rescued folk off the pier in 1931, and this is a Grade 2 listed building today. A little further along, the headquarters of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, those brave souls who have saved so many lives over the years.
We're not sure what this building was, but if you know, please comment below and let us know.
Next up was the Windsor Gardens, a long, narrow garden, and they were originally laid out for wealthy shipping merchants who lived in the village just above them. So this was a private garden, which is now a public garden, but there is a bandstand in there which can be admired and enjoyed today. You can just see some of the buildings up above. I think they're more modern villas, but yeah, shipping merchants who controlled the shipping in and out the Bristol Channel once owned all this privately. And the gardens had a great view of the Bristol Channel, so they could see all their wealth being made before their very eyes. And from Windsor Gardens, just a short walk into Alexandra Park, up this slope to the left.
Alexandra Park was laid out in 1901 and 1902.
And lots of the gates and railings are still original. There's a rather wonderful parkkeeper's cottage to the right, just as we entered, we're seen there. But as you rise up through the park, it's quite sparse. We come up these steps. The original intention was to have a wonderful botanical gardens, but it never really came to fruition. There's some interesting trees around, but not a lot of flowers to be seen in Alexandra Park. But as we climb up these steps and up the slope, one thing of particular poignant interest to me was the First World War memorial, which we shall come across soon. There are some very pleasant parts of this park. Some of these benches, I believe, are nearly original too. And you can appreciate the Edwardian splendour. And here's a more modern sculpture of, I believe, is this a phoenix? I think I'm right in saying that's what type of bird it's meant to be. And the original Edwardian bandstand was removed in the 1950s, and this current structure, I believe, dates from the mid-1990s. Do they still have bands playing in this park? Let us know in the comments below if you know. But yes, occupying a fine and appropriate prominent place in the park is this fine war memorial. Striking inscription here, "These men died for their country, do ye live for it?" One notable thing about all the names listed from both major world wars and the Korean War is every name is in alphabetical order. No rank, every man, if not equal in life, certainly equal in death. Also the names of 8 civilians killed during the Second World War, as Penarth, due to the location of the docks nearby, came under some heavy bombardments. Also during the Second World War, those brave people from the Penarth Yacht Club, not just content with rescuing people from the fire on the pier in 1931, also set out to Dunkirk to rescue many of the troops stranded on the beach there in early 1940. Also, Penarth was home to lots of American troops during the Second World War who practiced on the nearby cliffs for Shinny Up Cliffs in Normandy during the Operation Overlord, the D-Day landings and the days following that. We weren't quite sure what this stone was about. Please let us know in the comments if you have any idea.
Some pleasant steps down here into some secluded woodland.
Yes, all in all, a very pleasant stroll through Alexandra Park. Now, this is the first time we've been to Penarth, and we've mainly covered the esplanade and the gardens. If on a future visit, and we do like to travel the country a lot, you know of any places in Penarth that you think would be of particular historic interest, then please let us know for our return journey. We end up back on the esplanade, and I think this is the old public baths building. A very popular way of keeping healthy during the Victorian and Edwardian eras. If you like this sort of content, then please consider subscribing to our channel. We're a new history channel on YouTube. We go to lots of different places around the country and we like to film our walk. So there's lots of different varied history content and it's absolutely free to subscribe. And it helps us to grow as a channel.
So we hope you can join us next time, where every journey begins with a path to the past.